Hello everybody, it's Gary Hallican here, and today we are looking at the amazing stranger from the planet Krypton, the Man of Steel, Superman. Bun-da-da, dun-da-da, bun-da-da, dun-da-da, dun-da-da. So yes, this is the McFarlane DC Multiverse Fleischer cartoon Superman, or as it says on the side here, the classic animation Superman. So for anybody who doesn't know, the Fleischer brothers, who also made Popeye cartoons, they made the first ever Superman cartoons in the early 1940s. And they're pretty much some of the best stuff ever. I think for a lot of people, they are one of, if not the definitive versions of Superman. If you've ever said the phrase, "This looks like a job for Superman," you probably got it from one of these cartoons. So when this figure was announced, it became an instant must-have. And based on all the pictures of it we've seen, it looked like it was going to be awesome too. And now having it in hand, it looks really awesome. And so we'll wait to see when we get him out of the package. But just looking at it as is, it looks just about perfect as far as capturing the look from the cartoon here. So very excited to be showing you this one. If we look on the back, we have some artwork here that I'm not sure where this comes from. It looks to be a comic cover, but it has the logo like from the cartoon. Of course, it's meant to be kind of the cartoon version. So let me know in the comments if you know where this comes from, if it's an actual comic this comes from, or if it's new art made for this figure. But other than that, let's go ahead and get him out and see what we think. Okay, so here is Superman out of the package, and aesthetically, what can you say about this? It is easily one of the best. I think one of the best looking DC Multiverse figures. He looks like he stepped right out of the cartoon. It's simple, not a lot of detail, but it captures the iconic look just about as well as you could want it to. For all of the different Superman bodies that they could have used, I think they definitely picked the right one. He's pretty bulky looking, big in the chest, right, like he was in the cartoon. He could even be a little bit bigger in the chest to be even more accurate. But I think they definitely picked the right body for this one. The colors are fantastic. You've got the darker blue for the suit. It is accurate for him to have a red belt, right? He does have a red belt in the cartoons, though it does look to be a little bit lighter red to contrast with the trunks a little bit. And here on the figure, they're the same, but that's a very, very minor nitpick. And I love the logo. I think the logo looks fantastic. It might be unusual for some people to see black S logo on Superman, but it's straight out of the cartoon, and like I said, it looks amazing. I think the cape looks fantastic as well. It's a wired cape, so we're going to be able to get some good poses. But where it connects on the back looks great here. It looks exactly like Superman cape is supposed to look. And the head sculpt on this guy is really good too. I'll bring it up here close and look at it in a second here, but the hair looks good. The shape of the head looks good. What we'll see here, if we bring him up close, is that he doesn't really have eyes. He just kind of has squinty eyes in there, right? And you can't really see eyeballs or anything. And you might think that's a little bit odd, but that really does capture the look that he had in the cartoon. In the cartoon, I think they were rotoscoped, right? So they would film, real actors and then sort of draw over that film. Get him to stand back up here. To get really realistic motion in the cartoon. And so, like I said, I think this figure captures it just about perfect. I don't know what more you could ask for a figure of the Fleischer cartoon Superman, aesthetic-wise at least. Aesthetically, really one of the best, I think. Probably the best Superman figure they've done, and one that I'm really excited to get in the collection. So, let's see how articulation is on this guy. Okay, so for articulation, at the head, he's got look up that far, which is pretty decent. That's pretty decent for these figures, so that's going to get you some all right flying poses, I think. And look down, not too much, only a little bit of look down. Of course, we can twist and tilt side to side a little bit, like that. So again, I think really good head sculpt. Very square jawed and accurate look into the cartoon. At the shoulders, we've got all the way around here. We've got a little bit forward and back. Looks like he does not have the horrible shoulder ring issue that we've seen with some other figures. Looks like the rings fit in pretty well. The chest is big enough here. So looks good at the shoulders. If you've seen some of my other reviews, you've seen some of these McFarlane figures, the shoulder rings are too small. The chest is too small. You get big gaps in here. That's what happened with the electric blue Superman figure. This one is good though. Looks like the shoulder rings are good here. We do have bicep swivel and double elbow all the way up there. And then at the wrist, we have, of course, twist at the wrist and hinges like that. And one gripe I guess you could have is that some people might have preferred flesh-colored wrist pegs. He has wrist pegs that match his sleeves. I think this works pretty good because the sleeves, in the show would come just about to the beginning of the hands there. So, I don't know, I think it looks okay here. At the chest, we've got no crunch forward, really. We still haven't had any McFarlane DC figure with really good forward crunch. Okay, lean back. Not a whole lot, but a little bit of lean back. Lean side to side. Of course, can twist. Right there. And then at the legs, we got forward about that far. And back just a little bit. All the way out, no problem. No real twist. Very tight double knee, but goes all the way. Pretty tight for the knee there. And then we do have a little bit of swivel at the boot, but not much. You can't really do anything with that. And then at the foot, we've got up that far, point all the way down, have a toe, and then, of course, twist and pivot at the ankle. So, pretty much standard for the McFarlane figures. Biggest thing is I'm happy that the shoulders are not an issue here with this one. That we don't get any big gaps. The other important piece of articulation, of course, is that we have the wired cape here. So, we can gonna get some good, blowing in the wind cape poses like that. So that is awesome. To get the wired cape here is really fantastic. So we'll look at we just looked at articulation. Let's look at accessories next. And if there is a failing to this figure, it would be in accessories. The only thing he comes with of course with the card and the stand. And then the only other accessories is 2 open hands. So you can see right there. So I'm not going to get them out, but it would just switch on to the wrist pegs there. So I don't really know what else he could come with accessories wise. So I guess that's okay because, there isn't really a lot of other items he used or anything. Plus, just look at him. Like I said, this figure looks amazing. Anyway, let's do some size comparisons next. Okay, for size comparisons, here he is with Detective Comics 27 Batman. And so they are pretty much the same size. And look how good they look together. That makes for a awesome display there, I think, with the first appearance Batman and essentially the first appearance Superman. It's first appearance in any media outside the comic books, right, for Superman. Well, other than the radio show, but you couldn't see him on that. So these look amazing together. Superman with the first appearance Batman. Here he is with Cyborg Superman. If he'll stand up here. Maybe he will. Almost. There we go. Cyborg Superman is a little bit taller. He's a bigger figure in general. He's a little bit taller than most of the other figures in the wave, in the series. but only a little bit taller, not a whole lot. Here he is with Marvel Legends figure. So here's Marvel Legends Captain Marvel. So of course Marvel Legends in the 6-inch scale instead of the 7-inch scale, right? And then here he is with a standard 12-ounce beverage can. And then of course with John Cena. There we go there. So please stay tuned for some dramatic poses. I'm definitely going to do some dramatic poses with this guy because he looks awesome. And I don't really have anything negative to say about this one. The Fleischer cartoon Superman is probably one of my favorite figures here in the DC Multiverse. Partly because of the nostalgia, right? But it does such a great job of representing that version of Superman. So I would say definitely do not miss this one, especially if you like the cartoons. I think you should get this one. So let me know in the comments what your favorite version of Superman is. Let me know what figures you would like to see before McFarlane probably loses the license at the end of 2025. Let me know, what cool figures you would like to see them put out. And let me know what else is cool, and I'll see you in the next review.